Can I build the biggest structure I've ever built in Minecraft? I bet you thought I forgot about Minecraft. Now, I know I've been a little bit hooked on another game recently, but I haven't forgotten about Minecraft. And inspiration has struck thanks to Gemini Tay. In today's episode, I'm not going to ease myself into playing Minecraft again. No, I'm going to tackle the top of the mountain we terraformed. It's time to build the fortress. So I'm Nythe, and welcome to this next episode of Karotkraft, and let's build a fortress on top of this mountain. Well, here I am at the top of the mountain, and I think that first things first, we want to just sort of figure out maybe a bit of a gateway. I mean, we've done quite well with gateways recently, and I am thinking that what we can do is in between these two pillars here, we could actually have a really nice gateway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the gate will come around here like this. I'm just going to be blocking this out for now, just so that I've got a rough idea of the shape and everything that I want to be going for. The main sort of entrance. And I'm thinking that what we're also going to be doing is we are going to be stepping this up just a little bit so that we've got a bit more height coming up here like that. And I'm just going to come in here and mark this here because this is going to act as a stairway up here as well. What I want to do is I kind of want to just figure out a little bit of a rough layout like that. I think that will look good. So we've kind of gotten a good idea. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. I'm going to come and knock that down so that I've got that there. I'm going to come along and do the same thing here, I think. But this time we're going to do 11. And then what we need to do is we need to figure out how this is sort of going to go around. That'll give us an interesting corner. This is going to be quite a big structure. So I really want to just sort of like get in a bit of a plan and rough idea of how we're going to be doing this. That, I think, is looking to be a fairly decent shape. We can come along and add stuff to it if needs be. What I would like to do is have some sort of bridge thing that comes along here. Maybe just a 5 wide bridge. Gonna keep this corner here, but we're gonna come out, putting in a little knob in here. Just to add a bit of shape variation to this. I'm going to come along and just bring down the foundation, because this part here is essentially going to be the main foundation. So I think once I've got that in, we'll know roughly what it is that we're sort of working with as a foundation. And the foundation is going to be quite a big base. It's probably going to come out to about 3 wide here. So we're going to work on that. One of the big things about building a project such as this is making sure that you've got enough materials. And luckily, I have prepared for this particular sort of endeavor by getting loads of materials in bulk down here, ready for us to do what we need to. So we should be good to go. And I think I am going to bring in a little bit of deep slate. For now, the foundation is just going to be these darker tones. So we don't need anything else to distract us at the moment. There is also something here that I would like, which is this smooth basalt. I'm just going to check and just see how that matches with our blocks there. I think that will be okay. Okay, so I've come up here and I've kind of worked out a structure, to say the least, and I have noticed that this is an even number. I've really not done well with counting here. For some reason, it's just not worked for me today. Yeah, somehow I've just... I don't know. But that's gonna probably have to change. At least I've discovered it now whilst I'm doing this part, and it's not going to be too much of a hassle to change. We come along here and just simply move this one this way. That means that that would be there like this. And then this would go down here. After a bit of bad maths, I've managed to get this going and it looks quite formidable up here. I want to see what it might look like from coming in. I think that's going to look quite nice, and I've just got to now figure out the next part to it. I can't wait to see what happens once I've got the main shell. What I'm going to do now is focus on the front part here. Okay, so I've now got these pillars up, and I'm going to start with the sort of gate area, which shouldn't be too much of an issue here, seeing as we've got this looking all good already. And I'm just going to come in here with now some of our paler materials. I've gone and put some glass in to see what this looks like, and I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of feel as though it looks a bit weird having windows at this sort of level, and I'm going to actually come in with our calcite and diorite as sort of panels along there. I think that's going to look a lot better. So I'm going to swap those out, and I mean, hopefully I've got enough calcite and diorite in order to do that, but you never know. Making it not be a window is a much better choice there. So I am liking that a lot better, and it looks a lot more formidable now. It doesn't look like it would just break if somebody was, you know, throw cannonballs at it or something like that. So we've got quite a good foundation going for our fortress. I have mocked up this little bit here, which is going to be a sort of lower roof part, and I just need to come in and put some of the tiles on there. I have actually added a little bit more to this and kind of just made it a little bit sort of bigger and a bit more shapely. I'm just going to go into free cam actually, because it's just going to be easier to show this. And as you can see, we're going to have a bit more of a shape around here. And I might even come in and, I don't know, fix this over to there, just so that there is a bit more of a shape to it. And I'm just trying to figure out really how the best way to do this is, because I do want to have some sort of shape around here as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and, you know, vibe in this and kind of get this get this going. And we'll be back once we've done that. We have come up with an interesting shape for the castle, or fortress should I say, and I'm thinking now that I'm going to start moving on to sort of a roof thing. Now, as you all know, I watch Gemini Tay and various other hermits, and in particular Gemini Tay has done something a little bit interesting, and I'm kind of taking a bit of inspiration from that, and that is the way that she split the roof so that it kind of like creates a bit of a division. And that's what I'm going to be doing here and at the back there, up to sort of like these two pillars over here. But I am going to be putting in some sort of bracer thing from the edges of these, so we're gonna like maybe come up here with some of the stuff like this and have these sort of be staggered up slightly so that we can do that. But that is kind of like where I am now with this, because I kind of just want to get a bit of a roof going. And I did actually also come in here and start figuring out some sort of staircase to get down to here. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button and also leave a comment down below to let me know what you think of this entire build. I really enjoyed making it, and also consider subscribing so that you can get more videos like this. I have gone for the white because that's what I kind of like already established, and I think that I am liking it. Let's go and hop on to Nolan right now, and we can go and check this out. We might need to do a little bit of a trim thing at the edge over here, and that should also be something like that. But I am liking how this is turning out so far, and we've got this sort of like step up level here, and as I said, it is looking quite good and I'm really liking this. And then we're going to go up just a little bit higher. Mitch also just happened to be on, so I decided to show him. Okay, Mitch, so you've come to have a look and see my progress for the first time in a while. Like you've not done this at all recently, have you, Mitch?
Not at all. Like it's totally just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Inspired by Decked Out, but not to the grand scale of Decked Out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're freehanding all this right as well.
Yeah, like I'm not.
So
yeah,
I'm guessing you have this mapped out in your head, like so. We're walking around now, and I know I'm trying to picture it, but like for you can see it.
Kind of. It's like a blurry image.
So like, yeah, if like I look in here and it's all empty, but you look in here and you can see tunnels with like sewers. Yeah. And then a grand library, and then you can eventually see people running through it. Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. Like you should actually put Ravagers in it and stuff like that.
This is going to be like a lake, because I was trying to figure out how we would get water to the to like the civilization on the mountain and stuff. I mean, I know there's water down where obviously the lush cave is and everything, but typically water collects up at the top of the mountain and then trickles down. So there's going to be like a sort of a reservoir sort of thing here which collects the water, and there's going to be a lake that goes in that direction. But this is what I've been working on most recently, and is the subject to this video is the fortress that I'm building. So just glided off that. I did so well.
Nythe, I have an idea on this platform.
It's like going to be a tower.
I was going to say a ballista turret, you know, like those giant crossbows.
Yeah.
You know, in case you get like swarming enemies from above.
You mean like dragons or something like that?
Possibly, but don't harm my babies. Maybe just put nets in the catapults or something.
Yeah, I could do that. I was thinking of at some point putting in, do you know the Nythe style launcher cannon thing? I was thinking of doing that. So like I could go in like the 360 direction, but it's going to be like on a tall tower up at the top sort of thing. I was thinking of doing something like that maybe.
That'd be good.
I've just thought
I could put one at the very top of mine.
Yeah.
You could just like have little like checkpoints to bounce around to places.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
And then this is sort of like, this is going to be, I'm going to take you quickly the way that the path is going to go up. But that's what I'm like trying to do. I'm trying to figure out the routes and pathways to take you around different places and what the viewing would be like. So this, so eventually the path would come up here. It might like, it would take you around the edge of the lake, and then it will come up this way. So you're going around here, and like you're already sort of like seeing this imposing structure on the top of the mountain sort of thing. And yeah, I've just been working on this tirelessly to sort of get at least the shell done. I don't know if I'm going to get the interior done for the video, but I'm definitely going to get the most of the shell done.
That'd be pushing it.
Yeah.
I'd get the shell done at least. I feel like you could knock this out by the weekend.
Maybe. We'll see. I want to be able to play a bit of Hightail as well. So yeah, this is kind of like what I've been working on, just sort of like the outer surface, and I've been trying to really use depth. So I might come in here at some point and just chisel away at some of these pillar type things so they're not as bulky, and like sort of trim them down a little bit and do that. But then I've started to slowly put in a roof type thing, which I kind of like was inspired a little bit by Gemini Tay. And then at the foot of these things here, there's going to be like pillars that come down and sort of like break up the room in here a little bit. And I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing with this section just yet. This is probably going to be like going to go a bit taller than that side, that part of it, but not ever so, not like too tall, if that makes sense.
What about like stained glass windows?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's going to be like windows and stuff like that at some point, and I'm just not entirely sure. I was originally going to do windows here, but I took them out because it felt as though these are more of the sort of foundation sort of thing. So I wanted like to really show off the foundations of the building. Then there's going to be like grand windows coming through. I've worked out a little bit of a staircase to get up to this part.
Yeah.
Which is the part where I've been adding a lot of shape to it, sort of thing. So I've got
I really like these,
and I'm going to be honest. So you've got Iron's build over there. I'm kind of like inspired by like some of the archways and stuff like that do the connecting things to there. So like I've looked at them and sort of like figured I'd add these onto here. Here is going to be more, this is going to be an open sort of area. I'm not entirely sure. Might have like sort of like a lush grassy
maybe
bit.
Like a little garden area.
Yeah, and I'll figure out
maybe or you could have a tree like, and then it could be all up here.
Yeah. So just figuring out but that's in the decorating phase sort of thing. This is going to be the tallest part of the build, but it's like going to be a tall thin tower that goes kind of quite high up and into the sky. It's going to be taller than Jason's tower basically.
just the one upper.
And yeah, so that's going to go like quite high up and do that. And then I've got, this is going to be like a little courtyard. So this is going to be open. I know it seems quite tall, but like you see in fortresses, they kind of have like tall walls that have like courtyards and stuff like that. This is going to be, I think this room here is actually going to be more my quarters.
Oh.
So it's going to be quite, so it's going to be like where my main bedroom is and that sort of thing. And I think that's going to be what I'm going to do here. And it's not going to be as tall as the tower, but it's going to maybe have like a domed roof and that sort of stuff. So yeah,
I really like it.
And then,
I think it's really coming together.
And then over here, I've got like a little outside walkway sort of thing.
Oh, Nythe, you're going to make this a moat?
Yeah, so this is going to be like a sort of a river type canal sort of thing that goes...
From the lake, yeah.
Yeah, that goes from the lake. And then I've got this bridge that goes over because, you know, I like me some bridges. And then here is going to be like another sort of building type thing. This is going to be more sort of servants and things like that would typically stay at this part of the
workers' quarters and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
So
maybe
that's
kitchen.
Yeah. And something like that. I'm just building it up at the moment, and then I'm going to really properly figure out where things are going to go. But if we come and fly up onto this, onto Nolan here.
Little Nolan. I tried to click on it and it didn't work.
You missed.
Yeah, it's not letting me like. Oh wait, you can't. Yeah, I thought you could sit on it.
Yeah.
Just wasn't working.
So here, this is where I've been really inspired by Gemini Tay, and I don't know if you've watched her recent videos, but she's kind of like done on her sort of fortress building thing that she's doing. She's kind of like done this separation of the roofs and stuff by sort of adding this little gradual thing up, and then going to bring it up so that the next level is where all the windows and stuff like that are going to be for this build. And I just think it kind of like changes the shape slightly from sort of more rectangular structure to something a little bit more different, and all of these squares and stuff like that are going to be spires and stuff, so it's going to be very spirey.
Well, there is a little copper friend that likes the spires in this area.
Yeah, so I noticed that the little copper friend that I discovered in my in my bedroom down below is kind of scurried away with some of the stuff. So I'm not sure where he might have got off to. My biggest issue is blooming calcite.
You're gonna have to just go to tear it down.
Yeah, well, I went and tore down an amethyst geode the other day.
It should be craftable, really.
It should be. You should be able to trade it with the masonry villagers, I think.
Yeah, like do something with diorite.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily think it has to be like done with something with diorite. I don't think it necessarily has to be craftable, but there has to be like a sort of renewable source of it. Now that I'm at this point, I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I want to sort of extend this. And what I am thinking of doing is actually coming up here with some of our paler materials. And I'm going to block in a couple of rungs up this way. And I kind of want it to be in line with this part here, so that we can just add a little bit of something raised in here. Just plop this in my offhand there, and we can do that. So I'm just going to come along here and really sort of just figure this out and sort of get this going. I've gone and put the whiter blocks in now, and I think it's about time that we come in, just sort of build in some of this stuff here and got this going. We don't actually need to have those. We can save some blocks like that, but we can come in here like this, because we're going to need to start saving up some of these blocks so that they're not all thingy, although that does now mean that stuff can spawn in there. So we're just going to go and plop in some torches there when we do this. But yeah, this is going to be just coming up. That shouldn't be that. And then I'm going to try and figure out what we're going to do decoration-wise. We're probably going to do them similar to what we did on these spires over here. But for now, we're just going to come in and block them in. And then we can come in with the decoration a little bit after, like we did last time. Just it gets a little bit simpler. Oh, and we've got thunder. I have started framing out some windows, and I am actually really quite liking this. I do have a little bit of a conundrum though, in the fact that this side, the spacings of the bar pillars and everything are not at actually level. Like they're sort of they're different compared to that side. But I'm hoping that's not going to be too much of an issue in the way that it looks. And yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. And we just pretty much do a similar sort of thing here. I'm just hoping that it's going to work out. Alright then, look at what we've got going on here. We've got this middle section all done pretty much with regards to the structure. I still need to put the actual windows in and also complete the spires. But I think it's about time that we moved on to this part of the structure. Without this being tied into this part, it's going to look very, very weird. Going to come along here and sort of bring this part forward a little bit like this. So we're going to keep this same pattern going all the way along to there. I think that's going to work better like that. But other than that, I think I'm actually doing pretty good. And what's more, Honda Guy came along clutch and brought us a load more tough. So I don't need to go mining for that for a while yet. And I do think I need to grab a bit more of our tough bricks so that we can continue on with this. Although I am actually thinking that perhaps maybe we should look into going up on this side at least with the deep slate stuff, because I think that's gonna just look a little bit better in that way. So I suppose I'm gonna kick this into gear. Alrighty then, we are here and we have got this section done now as well, and I've worked on the roof a little bit too. And what I think I want to do next is I want to go and work on the spires. What I've noticed whilst doing the spires is these kind of need a little bit more fine-tuning. So I've put them in place, but I am going to be working on them in the future, adding in a bit of shading and that sort of stuff, and hopefully getting to grips with that. I also moved on and did some of the windows on the sides of the buildings, or the narrower bits of the buildings. I don't know really what to call them. I'm gonna could you pass me the sugar box back, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 8,
so you wanted some of that, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. What I would like you to do for me, I'm not going to ask for anything because Lord knows I don't need any more diamonds, and I already have.
Okay.
Follow me.
Following.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Oh well, more of the castles here.
Yeah, that wasn't just me trying to show off the castle, but the castle. Bar.
Yeah.
Right. So, do you see how there's like a bit that I did not mean to fall down there? Anyway, do you see how there's this big like gap here?
Oh my gosh.
This gap, like the river?
No, the gap where like it goes down, like you can see like the big ass gap.
This right here, yes.
Yes. I would like you to texture that and fill it in.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. And if you can,
sure.
and if possible, I'd like it to have a path that comes basically this way.
No.
And winds up this way to sort of this point here.
I hear you.
So yeah, this is good. This is I just get people to do terraforming for me.
Hey, you didn't pay me for terraforming.
Yeah, but that was your side of. Oh god, there's zombies. If that makes sense.
Cool. When do you want this done by?
When you have time, preferably with sometime within the next month, if that's
cool.
That's doable. Like I don't need it. I don't need it yesterday, but I would like it within the next month. Ideally, I want to try and finish this, at least the outside areas of this, within the next month. So that's the fortress as well. So,
that's gonna be some work.
Yeah, that's the plan. So
all right.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Thank you very much.
Happy terraforming. I have also come in here and actually done a bit of the texturing on this side, just adding a bit of shade, and I think it kind of works, and I'm just going to see what it looks like once it's all done, and it should kind of like just create a bit of an idea of sort of depth and shadow and that sort of thing, particularly when you're looking at it from further away. It's a shame they don't really have any sort of black wood in this game, because it'd be really useful to have something just to add a bit of a different blacky texture to it. But we've got what we've got. I have also come in here and put in some beacons in where we're going to be having towers as well. And also over this way, we've now got beacons which kind of give us all of the effects that we need for here to do that. All that remains really is I'm going to pretty much consider this sort of phase done, really, and I think we're just going to go and fly up onto here and just have a little bit of a look and see what it looks like, because this is one of the best vantage points for this build, and I think it looks really quite cool. I might actually shorten those front spires down a little bit and allow the other spires to come in there. Just looking at this, I think I might do that. But overall, we have done incredibly well in today's episode. We've still got a lot of work to do. We're probably about, I don't know, 60% down the way now with doing this. We've got a bit of texturing, we've got some trapdoors to put on and all that sort of stuff. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to come and do that in the next episode, along with adding the glass and things to the thing, and then also putting in some floors and then working there, and then we can like work on the interior on a step-by-step basis. And we've still got our wing to do over here with the tower, and also another little bit of quarters on the other side, and we've got some stuff to do down here. I think that this is a really good start on our fortress. I'd have liked to have got a bit more done, but I think for now we have done a fair amount, and I'm just really liking how this has turned out here. And we can just fly through these spires and do all of that sort of stuff there. And I think what I'm going to say is that this is all I've got time for today's episode. If you did enjoy this episode, please consider looking at the video that's in the top left-hand corner, because YouTube thinks that you might enjoy that video as well. From me, out. I think we've done a great job today. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified as to when I post videos. So what I'll say is, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.